So he asks, Ya Allah, who is this that you created everything for? The skies, the earth, the sun, the moon, the stars, the ships, the mountain, the trees, everything. إِلَّا فِي مُحَبَّةِ هَؤُلَاءِ الْخَمْسَةِ الَّذِينَ هُمْ تَحْتَ الْكِسَاءِ. I created everything out of the love of the five that are present in the cloak. Who are they? To conclude my final point, who is the Ahlulbayt? Some people come forward and say they are the blood relatives of the Prophet. Some people come forward and say they are the wives of the Prophet. Some people come forward and say they are even the fathers of those wives of the Prophet. We say, when Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala was asked, Ya Rab, waman taht al-kisa? Oh Allah, who is in the cloak? Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduces the Ahlul Bayt. Chalo, sanu tusi nahi manna, Allah nu te maan lo na. Let's see how Allah introduces the Ahlul Bayt. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, this is ma'adin al-risala. This is the pillars of faith, of guidance. This is the Ahlul Bayt. Who are they? Allah could have introduced them from the Prophet. He could have introduced them from Amir al-Mu'mineen. He could have introduced them from Imam al-Hasan and Hussein alayhimus salam. He could have. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala didn't. Why? Because certain people are linked to the Prophet through marriage. Kuch bandiyan ne dhiyan ditiyan ne, kuch bandiyan ne dhiyan liyan ne. So there's a bit of an issue here, because Ahlul Bayt linguistically in Arabic means people of the house, your family. And in essence, your wives are your family members. So if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala introduced the Ahlul Bayt through the Prophet, ina kehna assi vi ahle bayt hain. So Allah decided not to introduce the Ahlul Bayt through the Prophet. Amir al-Mu'mineen, from his other wives, there were certain people that were trying to link and get into the Ahlul Bayt. So Allah didn't introduce them. Imam al-Hasan and Hussein alayhimus salam had married women. For example, one of the wives of Aba Abdullah, the mother of Ali al-Akbar, her grandfather was Abu Sufyan. So there's links. That's why on the day of Ashura, the enemies would come forward and they would refer to Ali Akbar as saying, oh, our cousin Ali, come here. Because there was a link. So Allah knew, there is only one woman in the history of creation. Sayyidatun Nisa'il Alameen, the greatest woman of all women, that is surrounded by pureness from all four sides. The only woman whose father is a prophet, whose husband is a successor of that prophet, and whose children are the imams and successors of that prophet. The only woman that when Nabuwat ends and Imamat begins, the gap in the middle is called Zahra. Ya Ali, when Nabuwa ends and Imama begins, the gap is called as Zahra. Therefore, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knew that Az-Zahra is related from pureness from all four sides. So Allah closed the doors of shak for ours to come forward and say, we are Ahlul Bayt. Jibreel said, Ya Rab, waman tahta al-kisa. Allah said, hum Fatima wa abuha wa bahluha wa banuha. This is Fatima. Allah. This is Fatima, her father, her husband, and her children, to show you that if you were to look at the Ahlul Bayt, you look at Az-Zahra, and whoever is linked to her, they are Ahlul Bayt, and whoever has animosity and anger and hatred towards her, they are the enemies of the Ahlul Bayt.